Hey everybody, welcome to this month's episode of the Glisten Podcast. I'm so glad that you're here. You know, today we're going to do something a little bit different, and this year we're actually going to do some things a little bit different because I started thinking about why is it that I want to do this podcast? And it's really because I meet amazing people, and every time I meet someone, I think, everybody should meet you. Like, everybody should know you. You're so cool. You're so amazing. And so I just want to introduce you to some of the amazing people that I get to meet and be friends with. And today I'm on location at the Spin Club. And this is actually where I go, and I get to do spin here, and I love it. It's so much fun. And so I thought I would invite you to come along with me, and we're going to check out the Spin Club. And they do a lot of different things here. There's spin, there's bar, there's yoga. I think they're going to add Pilates, maybe even. I think I heard them say something about that next month. But they do some wellness and detox treatments, and I'm going to do one of those, and you get to come along and check it out too. So come on in, let's check it out. So we're about to step in, and I'm gonna do some detox treatments. They're gonna detox me today. So the first treatment is the infrared sauna. So tell me, what am I going to expect? What's gonna happen to me in this infrared sauna? Am I gonna explode?
No, but you are gonna get all clean on the inside. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you a small dose of niacin to help expedite the detox process. And then we're gonna spend a few minutes warming your body up on the bike. Okay. Then we'll take you off of there and we'll put you in the sauna for 35 minutes. And then throughout that time, I will check on you, make sure you're good. You'll sip on an all-natural green juice while you're in there. I will also provide you with a charcoal water that will capture all those toxins as they're in your bloodstream and you're beginning to detoxify. And then whenever you're done, we will give you some trace minerals to make sure that all those electrolytes and everything are restored to your body.
Oh, good. I'm going to feel so pure when I leave here today. Yeah. All right. And then the second thing that we're going to do is a foot detox. So tell me about the foot detox.
Yes. So we're going to put your feet in a basin of water, warm water, and a little bit of sea salt to help with the electrical current, the osmosis flowing through the water, and an array, and it's hooked up to the machine. You just stick your feet in, you sit back and relax and watch all the different colors of the water change. So it starts off clear, and then by the time we're done, it's going to look something like tea or maybe coffee, a little chunky.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really gross. And sometimes it has a little bit of a smell.
And it will. So what will it tell you? Like once you've done, like it's going to tell me that it's going to show you if I ate a cheeseburger, or
it's gonna show us like if you have yeast overgrowth, if you have heavy metal toxicity. It's going to show us if you're having joint issues, if it's cleansing liver. It does so much. So, and you can tell a lot by what's in the water.
And that will help you decide like if you need to take a supplement or something to help support your body. That will show
support.
You. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, let's get started. So excited that y'all are here. So glad that we're able to do this. I love hanging out with my friends. And you know, one of the things this year, as we kind of are looking at making the podcast a little bit different, is something that I've just really realized is that I love introducing people to other people. I like meet people, and I just think everybody should meet you. Everybody should know who you are. Like, they should know your story. They should know what you're about. They should know what you have to share. And so I just wanted to introduce you to everybody that's watching because I want them to know you too. All right, so I have a couple questions. First of all, how did you two meet each other?
Well, it's funny you should ask because you actually introduced us.
I did? Oh, yeah. My goodness. Okay.
You texted me and said, hey, you know, I have a nice couple who's moving into your neighborhood. It would be really awesome if you reach out to them. I think you guys would get along. So I was like, okay, cool. So I reached out to her on Facebook, and she was out of town, and then we got together like when she got back a few weeks later, and the rest was history.
Oh my gosh,
so you literally are responsible for...
How cool is that? Nice. Okay. And then didn't you say something about that y'all had grown up near each other? Y'all lived near each other or something before that?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So she grew up across the street from my parents' church. Okay. Like I was there every time the door was open. And we went to high school together, but never crossed
all
paths.
the schools.
Yeah. Middle
right?
school and high school.
Yeah.
How fun.
And then when we lived in Douglasville, I would come down and go to her mom's store and do the foot cleanse and all of that on the weekends. Like I would drop the kids off with my dad and then go in, and she would always talk to me about, oh my goodness, you and my daughter are so much alike. And I never knew. And then when she friend requested me on Facebook, I started kind of stalking all of her pictures, and I saw Miss Ann, the owner of Pro Health, on there. And I was like, wait, that's your mom? Oh. So it was really cool because I had heard about her for 3 or 4 years and how similar we were from her mom.
Very
and then we finally met.
cool.
So yeah.
I love that. What a neat story. So your mom was a business owner, right? And your dad was a business owner, or is still a business owner. They both still are. And so have you learned anything from them? Like, did you pick up some things from them, like growing up? And so tell us a little bit about that.
Definitely. I learned that it takes like a lot of dedication and hard work. It's not something that just happens overnight, and that business is your baby. You know, it keeps you up at night. You're thinking about new ideas, problem solving all the time. So I just knew going into business ownership like what I was taking on. You know, a lot of people run with like the funness and the excitement, but I was a little bit more hesitant because I was like, oh, this is going to be a lot. Are we going to be able to do it?
Yeah.
So.
And what kind of business does your mom have?
She has a health food store here in McDonough, and they have been open for about 25 years now.
I love your mom, by the way. I already knew she owned that. It's just saying that for everyone else's sake. I want them to know she's wonderful, and she does. And it's in health and wellness, which is kind of what you're into. So that's kind of neat that you grew up in a house where they were into health and fitness, and they're really into health and fitness. Your parents are like, for real. Like they have all the vitamins, all the supplements, the foot cleanse. They eat so well. So I love that. Yes. And what is your dad's business?
So he owns a commercial concrete company, which I work for as well. So I think the biggest thing that I took away from seeing him, he came out of corporate America. So it wasn't something he was just like, oh, let me do one day. It was very calculated. He came out of a job that he was super comfortable in and decided he just wanted to do this and try his hand at it. So he did. And last year, he was a $4 million company. So it's been very great. But the behind the scenes of that is the 16-hour days that it took to get there. And so I think that was my biggest takeaway, and knowing when we open this that it's not 9 to 5. And I think, like you said, you know, people think it's fun to own your own business, but they're not up here when we're up here at all hours doing all of the things, fixing things, cleaning things, strategizing. There's never a day where we don't go through like 45 voice text, honestly, because it's just always something. But it is rewarding. It is really rewarding to know at the end of it that, you know, we brainstormed this and it was a vision, you know, that we had. So
that's really cool. And I love how you both were raised in a home where there was business ownership, but it wasn't like you weren't being officially groomed to own a business one day, but you pick up things. It's like legacy. It's not necessarily that it's even taught. It's caught. Like you caught some things about business. And so I think that's important to know, and really a plus, an advantage on your side. So how did you decide that you wanted to start this specifically? Are you guys just always been workout, health conscious, wanted everybody to be healthy, and you're like, you've been doing spin since you were like 3 years old? Or is this something that, like, how did you get involved in spin?
Well, the funny thing is last January, I was just like, I had gone through a season of moving. Things had been so chaotic. And I was like, I really miss going to the gym, because I had, you know, always throughout my young adult years gone to the gym and worked out. It was just part of who I was. And then I live a very natural lifestyle as well. And so I know that I want to take care of my body so that I can be the best I can be for my kids. So last January came around, and with everybody else, I was like, you know what? I want to get back in the gym. So Daniel and I decided we would just get a gym membership and go together. And that turned into like 7 days in. He was like, can't really go at this time. It just like our schedules started not working out. And Laura and I had gotten to be, you know, pretty good friends, acquaintances more than anything. We didn't talk.
You liked each other a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk on like a daily basis or anything like that, but we were just kind of like.
It was more like, you want to meet me at the pool or, you know, that kind of thing.
So I texted her and I was like, hey, would you want to come do like workout with me? They have spin, they have all these options, because we were at a corporate gym. And she was like, yeah, let me try it. And so she signed up and she came for a free week. And then she was like, you know what, I'm really going to do this. And she got into it. So we took our first class at the end of last January. Our first spin class.
Wow.
And so from then till like,
let that sink in.
Yeah. So no teaching, no background of fitness instructing or anything. Yeah. We just fell that in love with it.
So I love it. I've been coming too. So I'm a member here and I love it. And what's really funny is, so several years ago, I really work out better when I have a buddy, like when you have a friend, because they kind of hold you accountable.
Yes.
And so my friend Angela, who is incredible, like she is just workout. I mean, she literally has been working out since she was in third grade, because I've known her since she was in third grade. And we used to work out together. We would go to another gym together. And now she's here too. So we're like, I'm like, hey, I mean, I didn't invite her. She didn't invite me, but we just ended up back here together. So we're working out again together. So that's fun. Having a buddy, having a friend to do it with. So what do you think, I'll tell you what I love about spin. I just like that it's variety, that it's something, it's fun. Like I don't like doing anything that's not fun. And some things can get so mundane and boring and you're just like, I don't want to go. But I love it. And so there's different instructors, there's different music sets, there's different routines. And then also it's dark.
Yes.
So I don't like to, I don't want anybody looking at me. I like the fact that it's dark and then there's that LED wall that's flashing and it's so much fun and you burn so many calories and you feel so good when you're done. You're like dripping wet, but you're just feeling so good. Yeah. And I felt really like I was the most uncoordinated person ever on the first night when you guys did the preview night. I was like, I am not coordinated. This is like doing this, I'm like, I'm going to have to detach my brain somehow or something to make this work. But now the more I've done it, like I'm a whole lot better. I'm nowhere near as good as you guys, but I can't move as fast. But I definitely feel like I can tell that I've made progress and I love doing it. So, but what do you love about it?
I think one of the main things was like just really good music. Like you said, variety. This was one of the first workouts that I was able to do and actually break out in a sweat. Like I was used to doing things at home when I felt like it, which wasn't often. But, and then one of my more favorite things is like the family that's next to you. Like the person next to you truly becomes your spin family. And I just love that. They push you and they cheer you on. And if you're having a bad day, they're there for you. So, and then your coach, it's all good. Like, I don't know, I just love it.
Yeah. How about you?
I definitely love the feeling of being able to do something kind of like what you said that you feel like you cannot do. And then like weeks go by and you're like, oh my gosh, I can do that. I can hit that number. I can do that push-up. I didn't know that I could do. So one of the most, I think, interesting things about the type of spin that we do, it's not traditional spin, and so some people walk in and they have no idea what to expect. And then some people know what they're signing up for. But we have a lot of people who take their first class and they come to us afterwards and you can just tell they're like shell shocked. Like, I don't know what that was.
What just happened?
It's not like the traditional up and down, add a little weight and sit down and ride. It's intense. It's a total body workout. And, just being able to look at them and say, just keep showing up. It's kind of like ministry. Like, just keep showing up and you're going to get better and you're going to get stronger. And the people that actually do continue to show up come to us and they're like, I can't believe this. Like, I couldn't hit this goal or I couldn't do this. And so I started making it a priority in my class especially after we do a sprint. I say, who hit a personal best today? Or after our class, who hit a goal today? And just to, see them do that and raise their hand and say, that was me today. And not everybody does it every day, but just to give them the opportunity publicly to say, like, that was me. I did something I couldn't do. And then have the class cheer them on. It just backs up what you said. Like, it just is a community.
And they're going home and bragging to their family. Because I go home and brag to my family. I'm like, I went up to 150 RPMs.
Yes.
Like, you're not, I'm like, I did it. Yes. So that's awesome. And what else do you offer? Because you don't just offer spin. You have other classes that you offer as well. So tell us a little bit about the classes that you offer.
So we offer yoga at night. We're going to be doing Monday and Wednesday evenings. So it just is a time to kind of come in and relax. And, it's not there are different types of yoga, and so it's not the type of yoga that you come in and
We're not praying to
meditate
Buddha or
and
anything
all
like
of that.
that. Okay,
There's
just
no
checking.
all-seeing eye. There's none of that. But it just is, there's nice music on. There's a good atmosphere that's set, and you can just kind of step away for that 45 minutes and just take a breath after a busy day. That was something that was very important for us to find, obviously with us and our belief in Christianity and the Lord. We didn't want to compromise the spirit or the value of what we have here. And so we found the best possible fit, and she's wonderful. Then we also do bar as well, which is kind of like Pilates. I compare it to Pilates with a ballet bar. So you do some work on the ballet bar and some floor work. And then we have wellness services as well.
Yes. Our foot detox and our infrared sauna.
And what does the foot detox do? What is that for?
So it's going to detox several different systems in your body. You put your foot in the basin of water for about 30 minutes. We have the array in there. Put a little bit of the sea salt in there. You just sit back and relax. And it detoxes liver, gallbladder, kidneys, urinary, joints, heavy metals, yeast, parasites, like all kinds of gross stuff.
Wonderful.
Starts out clear, turns out looking like coffee or tea or
Swamp.
something nasty. It's so bad.
It is really bad.
So
Yeah.
And then what is the other? You said there was 2 services. There's the foot detox and the infrared sauna.
yes, and the infrared sauna works to detox you on a cellular level. So, and it's 30 minutes as well.
And it's going to take all my wrinkles away and all that good stuff, right? Or is it just going to make me feel better?
Well, it is good for non-aerobic. They actually call it a non-aerobic workout because you burn 300 to 800 calories when you're sitting in there doing nothing. So, and it's good for stress reduction that they've shown on different scientific studies how it actually slows your whole body down, and it kind of puts you into, it mimics having a fever so that those cells and everything in your body start to heat up and fight off, inflammation or any sort of toxin or anything like that you have. So sometimes, like I said, it takes 1 to 3 times to even break a sweat, depending on how much you need it. But once you start sweating, it's like there's no return. The next time you go in there and you do the cleanse, you'll just be soaked when you come out. It's like once your body gets to that point, it's really good.
And there's like a special juice that you have, right? That you get to
So we give you a green juice and an activated charcoal water, so that charcoal is grabbing everything that is in your bloodstream as you're beginning to heat up and detox. And then we want to put all the good stuff back in. So we give you some minerals and sea salt at the end, and you sip on your green juice while we're in there.
Well, I like green juice.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I like to drink. So I want to ask you just a fun question. What is your favorite drink? Like, what do you like to drink?
I'm really loving the Starbucks. It's the peach green tea lemonade. So
That sounds
my
good. I
jam.
haven't tried that.
It is so good. It's got sugar in it though. That's the only thing. I'm like, she gets like green tea without sugar, and I'm like, oof, I'd just rather drink water. But yeah.
And how about you?
I always get an Americano. Hot, iced, it doesn't matter, nothing in it, just black. Just black.
Yeah, I
The
like
stronger the better.
I like coffee.
drinker.
I'm a coffee drinker. I like coconut milk with coffee and sugar-free vanilla. That's my newest thing. I like that. That's good.
Nice.
But I don't drink it. But I drink it like maybe twice a week.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just coffee.
Yeah.
Just coffee and regular almond milk creamer or coconut milk creamer. But I like that. All right, so tell me, has there been something just hilarious that has happened in one of your classes that you're able to tell, like a most embarrassing moment or something really funny that's happened during your opening of the spin club?
There's so many things. We have definitely learned, I think, in this process to not take ourselves too seriously because there are just things that will humble the socks off of you that happen, and you're just like, I'm so sorry. I would say recently, probably the funniest thing that happened is when we had the really cold weather last week. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be an awesome steward, and I'm going to pop in on a Sunday and go ahead and turn the heat on so that the people that come at 5:45 in the morning on Monday can appreciate the fact that it's not 40 degrees in here. And so I did not know that would dry out our brakes on our bikes. And so the 5:45 class was warm and toasty. And so then my class comes, and she was not here. Normally, both of us are usually here. So if there's like a oh no moment, like one of us can zip around and handle it. So I was teaching, and all of a sudden I just start hearing, like, one by one, everybody's brakes just making that like the whole thing. So by the end, I think it was like 6 bikes. And so it was so loud in there that I was like, you know what, guys, I'm just going to jump off and spray everybody's brakes. So they were like in the middle of a sprint, and I'm like, shh, shh, shh. I'm going through the whole class and like spraying everybody's brakes. I'm like, I'm sorry. The heat dried it out. I was trying to be nice. So
Lovely.
that's my most recent one, but you
It
know.
happens.
Yeah. So what have you learned so far? So you've been open how long now?
Since November 1st.
Okay, so 3 months, almost 3 months. So what have you learned that you didn't already know? Like, was there some things coming in that you thought, oh, I can foresee every problem that we're going to have. We're going to know what to do about it. Was there something that you've learned and you're like, oh, we didn't see that coming, or we didn't know that was going to happen that way? Is there anything that you feel like you've learned?
I think for me, I didn't realize the bike maintenance would be as,
Yeah, for 2 girls.
yeah, for 2 girls who literally don't know like what's going on there. We are basically just learning as we go as far as the bikes go, and we've learned a lot.
Yeah. I think customer service wise, we're good. But our famous phrase since like the minute, probably in March when we started talking about wanting to do something like this, we were like, oh my gosh, we could open a spin club and then it would be ours. And then we would get paid to work out and we could do whatever we wanted to do. And so our coined phrase is, of course, open a spin club, they said. You know, it'll be fun. Because it is nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was like out of nowhere, it just got real. Like it was a dream, boom. Like, okay, here you go. And so it has been definitely a lot of learning.
A huge learning
I think the
experience.
biggest thing that I could probably take away right now would be constantly trying to find the next to do, like the event, the draw, all of that. Because I think if we're being honest, we thought if you build it, they'll come.
Yeah.
And we thought, you know, hey, we'll put the word out. Like everybody's so interested and they'll just come. And it was not that way at all. And I think we have learned like it is a lot of customer support. It is a lot of loving on clients, being involved in their life, giving them a reason to feel like this is different, because anyone can go down the street and get a gym membership for $10 or $24. But what's going to make us different is the way that we love people and that we love what's going on in their life and that's genuine. And so as they're losing weight or, you know, they're going through something or they need to put something on the prayer wall or they spent the weekend with their grandkids and they want to show us pictures, you know, it's all part of the experience that you get when you come here. And so I think just learning to roll with that, to really make that the center of who we are so that clients come and they are like, this is so different than anything that I've ever had. I want to be a part of it.
And it's definitely more than because I've been to lots of different gyms, which I've loved all of them. They're all different. Like it's like going to a church or going to a restaurant. They're all different. They have their own thing. And what I love about coming here is it does feel like community, but it's not. So there's times when I come and we hang out for like 20 minutes after just chatting and talking. The whole group will be out here talking about, you know, somebody's husband killed a deer and whatever. Like that. There's one lady, she's so friendly. Her and her husband come and I'm like, I love it when they come and I get to get behind them because they crack me up. They try to like race each other when we do the sprints. But it feels like a community, but I don't feel pressured to stay either. If I need to go, like I can pop out the door and or come really early in the morning. If you come at 5:45, it's really, you don't have to worry about the train getting over the tracks when you're getting here. There's no traffic, and it's been a really full class. And you guys have really grown since you started. Like it's been gradual, hasn't been all at once, but it seems like it's getting gradual because I have to some of your classes are full. When I go to register, I'm like, I can't, it's full. So it's definitely growing and it smells amazing in here. That diffuser, I'm like, I should just get a shirt that says, I come here for the smell.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
Not the sweaty gym smell.
It does not smell like a sweaty gym. It smells like a boutique.
Good.
And that's what I like about it. I love everything about it. So thank y'all for being able to offer this. And I love being able to have something in our community. You know, it's like the south side of Atlanta. We've got so many options now for health and wellness. We don't have to be known for being unhealthy. We have lots of options for people. But I also wanted to ask you, just so you're new business owners, and you also have children. You have how many children?
I have 3 girls,
3
15,
girls.
10, and 4.
Yes, and then you have 2 children.
Almost 7 and 8.
Yes, boy and a girl. And so, and you have husbands, and you have you have animals. Both of you have animals, right? You have a dog, and you have a
Cat.
a hairless cat, right?
A Bengal.
Okay. I think you got a hairless cat.
No, do not have a hairless cat. He does have spots though.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you have a cat, and you have a life like outside of this place. So how do you feel like, you know, what have you learned? How do you handle all of that? How do you make sure that you're investing time in all the places that are important? Your faith, your kids, your husband. Like, how have you managed that?
I would say for me, it's been about putting first things first. You know, like getting up in the morning, spending time on my Devo and with the Lord sets the tone for the day. When I don't do it and I hit snooze, that also sets the tone for the day. So just trying to be, you know, cautious of that. And then setting time in the schedule, like, okay, today's date day. We're not doing spin club stuff today. We'll do that. We're like, okay, today's family day. So if there's anything pressing, you know, we'll handle it tomorrow. And then just being intentional about spending time with the family. And I will say that my family, and especially my husband, has been amazing through all of this. You know, like, they joke about how I'm always like, spin club this, spin club that, Heather this, Heather that. But, you know, they have been amazing in helping out at the house, and my husband doing stuff with the kids and stuff. So that makes a big difference when you have support from your husband.
And I've seen him up here too. He's been helping with a lot of the technology stuff, and even with the maintenance.
Yes.
And I've seen him try to race you as well in a class.
Yes.
It's been an all hands on deck kind of process.
Both
Even
of our
for-
husbands, thankfully.
Yeah, even for Michael's dad
Yeah.
and my dad, you know, we're like, we can't do this. Can y'all come up and see if you can? So it truly has been an all hands on deck experience for everybody. We're like, sorry if you didn't sign up.
Well, you and probably with your the way that you guys have your schedules, your husband travels a good bit, so that probably maybe was an advantage even for you to know, okay, I've got to block time, you know, really be intentional about my time with him, and with your kids. Like, that probably was a little bit of advantage. But was there anything that you learned or anything that you switched up or something that you found that was helpful?
A lot of things. I think most of it is just intentionality, because I think we can just be so busy and just go, that if we are not consciously setting, you know, our priorities, like the message that Pastor Mike preached about, I had seen the illustration before, but with all the rocks, and how when you put things in order and you do things God's way, that it leaves you room for margin. And also, I think just cutting out the things that are not growing with me. I think at the beginning of the year, I really was like, you know what? There's some relationships that aren't bad relationships. They're just taking time, but they're not growing with me. And I feel like I'm in a season in my life that I want everything that I'm putting my hands to be growing and to be evolving. And if that's not the case, then I'm just kind of cutting those things out and making more intentional time for my friends and family. And I set, you know, I have to have, because I do work outside of this, I have to have designated work days. And then I make it a priority to pick my kids up from school every day. And, you know, when they go down, then I'm investing in my marriage time, and we're going to watch a show together. And then, you know, I'm going to groundhog it and do it all over tomorrow. But, you know, it's good. And I think the fact that we respect, you know, each other's time and space and love each other's families, you know, definitely helps the same thing. You know, we have each other's best interest and families at heart. And so if she's going through something or something's difficult for her to manage, then we both are just like, okay, how do you need help?
Yeah.
You know, what's next? What can I do? And it's just made it super easy and super organic.
Yes.
And I imagine that going into business with your friend can be a little scary at first because you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to go into business together and we're friends. Like, I don't want this to mess anything up. Like, I don't want to have a disagreement or something that could potentially damage our friendship. So how have you learned to deal with tensions or manage tensions? I know we talk about the Enneagram a lot. And you're what on the Enneagram?
I am a 2, helper.
2 on the Enneagram.
Achiever.
And a 3.
I'm a 3.
Yes.
But our wings are each other.
Yes.
So she's a 2-3 and I'm a 3-2. But honestly, when I tell you, we have not ever had an issue. We have never had an issue. Like, anytime something comes up that is of magnitude that we need to discuss, we just sit down and she's like, this is how I see it, this is how I see it. And we literally always have the ability
To come to an agreement.
I mean, it is like the most natural, amazing relationship that I could ever have dreamed of. Honestly, like it's a blessing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that when you started that you invited us to come and be a part, and we were able to just pray over the business and just really think that bringing God into the middle of everything and dedicating that, honoring Him in that way, really brings blessing, obviously, into our lives. And so, and both of you are mature and you operate, your life according to the Word of God. So I'm sure that is also a benefit. But being friends with somebody and doing business, I mean, I think that'd be a dream come true, right? Like that's so much fun. So what would you say to someone if, I'll make this a twofold question. What would you say to someone who is not in a place of health right now? They're not really healthy, but they want to get healthy, but they feel like, I look at you guys and you're like, listen, when I watch y'all do spin, I'm like, I can't even keep up with all those moves. I'm better than I was, but I'm still not as fast and I can't do it all. But my thinking is when I come in, I'm just going to do my best and I'm going to watch myself grow. But what would you just say to someone who looks at you or even maybe me and says, well, I'm nowhere near that fitness level? How would you encourage them to come and be a part of that? So that's the first part. And then if there's someone out there that has a dream to start a business, because there's a lot of women who have incredible ideas. Like, I'm like, do that. Yes, that's awesome. Write the book. Like, start the business. Do it. How would you encourage them? So I'll let whoever wants to answer.
I would say my take from that would be just to tell them to just start. Like, you literally just have to get up, show up, give it your best. That's one of the things, like she said, we love about spin is you can just come in, get on the bike, and start pedaling your feet. And it's really that same thing about your dreams. It's just get on the bike, start pedaling.
Yeah.
Let God direct your steps. What's the next thing? And that's one of the things that I appreciated about Heather when we first started dreaming this business was she was like, well, my take on it really is I just walk through doors until they're shut. And so every step, it was like, okay, we're going to do this. Okay, let's see if that door opens, if it stays open. And then we just kept going through doors and kept going through doors. And then when one door shut, it's like another door opened. And so that would be my take away from that. And my recommendation is just to start pedaling and keep pedaling.
Get started.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people should probably know when you take a spin class. If you can't keep up, it's okay to sit down and just keep moving. Just don't stop. Just keep moving until you feel like you can catch your breath and then jump back in and do it. So there's been many times where I've had to do that, but it's becoming less and less because I feel like I'm getting more in shape. So how about, do you think to add to that?
I love the quote, "You're stronger than you think." And I think that's so true in all areas of your life, whether you're going through something personally or you're just talking about literal strength and workout. I think when you have the ability to just kind of let go for 45 minutes and focus on being you, that's one of the things I think that a lot of moms kind of lose their way when they have kids. Then they're bigger than maybe they've been in their life. They're more out of shape. They feel like they're giving so much because they have a husband or they have kids at home. Some of them work, and they come in really just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. And just to be able to encourage them that, like, this is about you. This 45 minutes gets to be about you. And so listen to the music, find your happy place, do what you do, but just don't give up and keep, if you have to do a modification, awesome, because there's going to be a day where you don't have to do that anymore. Then you're going to be really stinking proud of yourself that you continued to show up. So I think just helping people understand that they truly can do it.
And your kids looking up to you, starting this business and exercising, but even if you have kids and you don't have your business, this isn't your business, they're watching you. They're going to imitate the habits that you have. And I want my kids to be healthy. I want my kids I want them to go further than I've gone. I want them to be more successful than I am in every area. So I think you're setting such a great example in all areas for your kids, because they're looking up to you. Look, my mom is a boss babe. Like she is taking care of business, because it's not easy. Like, just tell us, okay, just give us a glimpse of the last 24 hours of your life.
Well, my husband's on the road. One of my kids is sick. I had to take her to urgent care last night. Got home really late. Had to get everybody up, drop my son off at school, teach a 9 a.m. class, dart home and shower, pick up her medicine, take it to her, and come back and film. And then I've got to leave here and go get my son and go home and get them all settled and dinner cooked and all the things.
So you're a boss. You should give me a high five. That's awesome. And over, like it happens, like there's so many times that things are unexpected. But I think too, with business, with starting a business, sometimes people think they have to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Like, well, I have to have this whole entire, plan, my 10-year plan figured out, and I have to know every little detail. And they can get overwhelmed and they don't even know where to start.
Right.
So if, let's just say somebody is out there and they have an idea, they feel like they've prayed, they feel like they have this great idea from the Lord, like, he's on their side and they just want to start this business. Where do they start? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you even know where to start?
I always start with counsel. The Bible says that there's wisdom in a multitude. And Daniel and I have always, since day one of being married, we have our crew, our counsel crew. Pastor Mike is one of those. Since before we even moved to Chicago and came back. And we've been doing it a long time with Pastor Mike. And, we sit down and we say, this is kind of what we're feeling, or this is what we would like. What are your biblical thoughts and how do you feel, about that? And then we hear that out from them. And so that would be my word of encouragement, is to, surround yourself with people that are just not yes people.
Yes.
That will tell you like, okay, I can get in the trenches with you. This is a great idea. Or people who, will just be honest and be like, I don't know that that's so great. But ultimately that will pray with you and really genuinely seek wisdom from the Lord, but on your behalf, and not, be consumed with jealousy or having any other feelings about, oh, well, I don't want you to succeed. Like, just find you a good crew who can say, I don't know what the answer is, but I'm gonna pray about it. That's really most of how we make our decisions, to be honest.
That's great advice. I heard Clark Howard say one time, he's like, if you're thinking about starting a business, or you're thinking about working in a specific field, go find somebody else that does what you're wanting to do already, or something similar. Either go work for them, or just go invite them out. Like I would go find 3 or 4 people that do what I'm thinking about doing, take them out, pay for their lunch. I'll pay for your lunch. I will bring you a gift. If you just give me 30 minutes of your time and tell me all the pros and cons, about what you do. And they will give you the best advice.
Sure. Yes.
Probably that you could get anywhere else. And even if they had a school set up that taught people how to start business, you get better than that, because it's literal hands-on, people that have already done it. So I think that's so important. But having the godly wisdom and the godly counsel around you, I think, is vital. Because you definitely don't want yes men. You want people that are going to say, sister, I don't know if that's this might not be the right season for that, or there might not be a market for that in this area. Or they may say, hey, I know somebody that does that. Let me connect you with somebody that can help you, because I think networking is definitely the way, which is why I'm so crazy about everybody should meet you. Like, I think everybody should meet each other, because I feel like every single person is such a gift and has so much to offer and has such an incredible story. Like, we've shared your testimony before at church, and we won't have time to share that here. We'll have to put some links in the show notes about that. But and just your life and story, I feel like everybody should know everybody. I think everybody has such a special, unique calling, a special, unique gift, special, unique story. And so no matter, who you are or where you're starting, God wants to take you up and up and up and up from glory to glory. So, well, thank y'all so much.
Thank you
for the interview and for letting me be a part. I just love seeing and being a part of your journey, and that just really just tickles me pink that I got to introduce y'all, and I didn't even realize that was how y'all met. I've totally forgotten about that. So that's really cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.